Welcome to A Differentiated Life, Session 12. My name is Catherine Kissel and I'm a counselling psychologist. During this time when we're all confined to our homes, I am posting regular virtual therapy sessions as my way of supporting the wider community. My clinical approach is all about enhancing differentiation. So my videos think about a live challenge that we're facing and offer some practical tools to help you take a step towards a differentiated life. When I first started making these videos, one of my friends rang me up in hysterics. She was like, "You're there doing your videos and you're all calm and thoughtful and serious, and your husband is simultaneously on another Facebook page sending out a running comedy stream." She goes, "It's ridiculous and completely surreal." And she was right. My husband decided that his service to humanity at this time is to make people laugh. And so he has sent out hundreds of amusing images and videos and is definitely brightening up people's days. But the reality is, while I'm sat in my office box being thoughtful and he is sat in the lounge being humorous, we are both ultimately doing the same thing. We are both offering ways to shrug off the anxiety that surrounds us during lockdown. This is my third in a run of posts that's all about behind the scenes prep work, enabling you to keep more calm under pressure. And I've called it Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, because it's about using humour and laughter to help reduce the contagion of anxiety. Because you see, anxiety makes you serious. You can always tell a chronically anxious family or work team because it's very serious. The term chronic anxiety expresses the experience of ongoing pervasive anxiety as opposed to acute, a time-limited response to a real and immediate threat. So chronic anxiety is either rooted in the fear of what might be, anxiety over an imagined threat, like the what ifs, or it develops through the experience of many actual experiences of threat, multiple acute episodes that weigh you down, like having a sickness in a family, and then job worries, and then relationship difficulties. And in an environment of chronic anxiety, which is also known as a closed system, everything is very important. Mistakes are blown up out of proportion. There's often only one way to do things, and different opinions aren't acceptable. And blame and accusations and scapegoating swirl around the atmosphere. In contrast, a family environment or group which has less chronic anxiety is a bit more flexible. It finds it easier to let go of mistakes, to engage in creative discussion, and welcomes different ideas and perspectives. And there is always a great parent or leader that encourages this open system way of functioning. They are able to choose when to be serious, to address a concrete issue of concern, and when to let things go. But under lockdown, we are flooded with anxiety. We are facing immense practical challenges. We may be facing financial pressures, work difficulties, and we may be homeschooling. There's also a fear of the unknown as society tries to tackle COVID-19. Things that we took for granted, like touching surfaces or standing in a queue, now come with a potential health warning. And so even a family who normally functions at a high level of differentiation, which is characterised by an open system way of functioning, will find it difficult to keep flexible, loose and creative. It's easy to start tightening up. We'll see it in our relationships, where we'll start focusing on little things and getting short-tempered, and we'll see it in ourselves, the way we internalise our anxiety and feel it in our body. In this situation, where anxiety is spreading rapidly, like an emotional contagion, laughter offers us some immunity. It is a great way to inoculate us against chronic anxiety. You see, laughter is as basic an emotion as anxiety, and it's just as social. The benign violation theory, which was developed by Peter McGaw and Caleb Warren, articulates how the use of humorous banter creates a protective screen that deflects the baton of anxiety. They suggest that primates, who often laugh when play fighting and tickling, do so because both the fighting and the tickling are mock attacks, but the laughter signals that a threatening situation is okay. And just as anxiety is caught from others and passed on to others, that herd instinct that magnifies the intensity, so humour is caught and passed on, and it can create a ripple effect that benefits the entire group. Laughter reduces the emotional intensity. It doesn't solve the challenges that we face, but it stops us getting caught up in the anxiety that the challenges produce. Individually, it keeps us loose and flexible so we can come up with creative solutions to the difficulties. But one of the most important things that it does at a family or a team level is that it stops the challenges negatively impacting our relationships. And it's even backed up with science. Rod Martin, who proposed the humour health hypothesis, his hypothesis has been backed up with research over the last 20 years. And it's shown that affiliative humour, the type of humour which amuses other people, positively impacts health and well-being. It alters our bodily physiological states. It increases our experience of positive emotions, and it alters our perspective on the challenges that we face. It is also found to increase our experience of social support and our experience of belonging to a group. A few years ago, I used to work in a prison. I provided counselling to the prison officers there. And it's no surprise that in work such as theirs, in such a challenging environment, which was frequently dangerous, they drew upon humour as an incredibly important coping mechanism. They would laugh about situations that would be seen by many of us, certainly for me, as serious, traumatic, dangerous and frightening. But that laughter and that humour enabled them to break the situation down, process it, and reduce the sense of threat. It brought them together as a team rather than leaving people isolated and alone. It helped them come back to work the next day rather than quitting. And it enabled them to thrive in an incredibly challenging environment. There is one warning sign to put up about humour though, is that there are many ways of using it. It can also be used as a means of expelling anxiety and passing it on to others. And you might be familiar with that experience of banter, feeling a bit more aggressive, as hostile, in a way that can be used to hurt or manipulate others and ultimately increase anxiety. And that is not the type of humour that we're talking about. We don't need that in our lives right now. So if you want to find a way to feel a little bit less tense, to create that more open system way of functioning in your team or your family under lockdown, today I'm going to invite you to go and have a laugh. Go and have a laughter facial. It's hard right now. We're entering our 6th week of lockdown, and you may find your energy is ebbing and that hibernating is becoming the experience that you really want to do. So go do something completely passive. Look after yourself with a laughter facial. Go back to the films that make you laugh and give your face a workout. Secondly, why don't you go and be a laughter inoculator and spread the immunity around your family? Go have fun with your partner, your kids or your family. In our family, our highlights have been over the past week trampolining as a family in the dark, in the pitch black, and reimagining our kids' favourite childhood board game called Pop to the Shops. We have played this since the kids learn how to use money, and I was banned from getting rid of it a few years ago when it was going to go to the charity shop, and we remembered it at the weekend and we got it out, and we have recreated it through the lens of COVID-19, which includes all of the characters having to wear face masks and having to queue 2 steps apart from each other, which means that the whole shopping process takes about 5 times as long. And in the end, my son invented taxis that enabled you to jump round the queues. It was our way of finding some humour in the midst of lockdown. If being active like that, it just feels too much for you, then just get your kids or the people that you love to show you the things that make them laugh. It's a wonderful way to connect in a simple and positive manner. And if you find yourself separated from your family, then you can do this virtually. I was talking via Skype the other day to someone who rings up her mum, and together they watch the same YouTube clips. She doesn't feel like she has much to talk about with her anymore. Every day kind of feels the same. But watching something together connects them and gives them something to share. So I wish you all the best as you go and find some things to laugh about, and I look forward to seeing you next session.